Long-term projects usually bring up mixed feelings in students. Typically, students think that they have all the time in the world to complete the project, and then in the end, they realize that time is running out. They procrastinate for so long that panic sets in. They finally complete the project at the last minute, which then tends to resemble total garbage. Has this ever happened to you? If you answered yes, know that it's completely normal. This happened to me all the time when I was in school. I had no idea what I was doing and would always wait until the last minute to turn something sad in, while also giving myself unnecessary stress and anxiety. But now I know better, and I'm sharing my tips with you so that you don't have to suffer anymore. Now that you've got your planner with the monthly calendar, you can plan your next long-term project on your calendar with ease, and then just follow the schedule. There are many different types of long-term projects, like book reports, thesis papers, preparing for a speech or a debate, or participating in the science fair, to name a few. Teachers are really good about breaking up these big projects into bite-sized assignments. They let you know the due date of each stage of the project ahead of time, and if you simply follow their schedule, you can successfully chip away and complete each task on time, which will help you create a beautiful final product that you can be proud of. If assignments aren't so spelled out and broken up into small chunks for you, no worries, you can do it on your own. First, mark your start date and due date on your monthly calendar. Second, think of ways to divide up the assignments. Each type of long-term assignment will have its own main markers for completion that you can differentiate and mark on your calendar. But as an overall rule, big projects will have about 10 main tasks to complete. 1. Do some research and come up with a topic to explore. 2. Narrow down ideas. 3. Decide on an idea. 4. Find evidence to support your idea. 5. Write a rough draft or start the rough draft of the project. 6. Have it edited or looked at. 7. Write a second draft or add more to the project. 8. Have it edited or looked at a second time. 9. Make final adjustments or changes. And finally, 10. Turn it in. Let's say for this task that we have an English thesis paper due in 2.5 weeks. I'm using an English paper because it is the quintessential cliché last-minute assignment. Everyone has a last-minute English paper story. For a paper, your 10 main tasks will be to 1. Read the book. 2. Come up with a working thesis statement. 3. Hunt for evidence and find quotes that support your argument. 4. Finalize the thesis and narrow down quotes. 5. Write the rough draft. 6. Give it to someone to edit. 7. Make more edits yourself to create the second draft. 8. Give it to someone to edit a second time. 9. Polish sentences to complete the final draft. And 10. Turn it in. Looking at your calendar, you'll want 5 days to scour the book for themes and quotes to come up with a claim and get a rough draft going. 5 days to move from rough draft to a second draft, and a couple of days for any final changes and polishing. Notice that you'll have to ask for help and find someone to look at your paper who is a good writer and can give you helpful feedback. Teachers are usually willing to do this, so don't be afraid to ask, and you can ask friends or family members who are strong writers as well. Make sure you give them a few days to get back to you so that the time it takes them to edit does not affect your turn-in date. Let's say for this example that the paper was assigned to you on a Friday and it's due in 2.5 weeks on Wednesday. Identifying the start and end days helps you create a frame within which you can make your schedule. You'll use that first weekend to scour the book for interesting themes, symbols, motifs, and supporting evidence, which will help you come up with a claim based on what you've been discussing in class. While looking through the book, you may even come up with something completely original on your own. You'll need to use the weekend, so make a note for 1 hour of time on Saturday and another hour on Sunday to explore your book without the pressure of the weekday homework. Use small sticky tabs to note pages with important ideas, underline relevant passages, and type the ideas in a document. If you're on a roll, feel free to begin the rough draft at this point. Then on Monday and Tuesday night, schedule 45 minutes on Monday and 45 minutes on Tuesday in your timeline to chip away at your rough draft. Make a note that you'll share it with your editor on Tuesday night. Politely ask to have it back in 2 days, which is Thursday. Make a note that you'll have it back by then. On Thursday, you'll plan to get it back, and now you'll schedule time to work on it over the weekend. Let's write in another 2 hours on Saturday so that you can do a deep dive into the paper. When you're finished editing, the paper will be mostly completed at this point, and you'll have a solid second draft. You can now share it again with your editor on Saturday, so make a note of that on your calendar, and ask to have it back by Monday night, also noting it on your calendar. When you get the paper back on Monday, you can fix anything minor and turn it in on Wednesday with ease. Make a note that you'll make final changes here on Monday night. And look, you still have Tuesday night as a cushion. With a paper like this, or any long-term projects, the bulk of your work will be done on the weekends. You can expect to spend a minimum of 5 to 6 hours on a paper. I've helped many students write papers, and 5 to 6 hours is always the minimum for anything good. Since we spread out the working hours for this long-term project over time, it won't feel like a burden, and your final product will be quality work. The best ideas come to surface when you chip away like this slowly and steadily over time, because when you leave it and let it rest, more ideas come to you at the most random times, and you can go back to the paper and rearrange, add, take out, or fix anything you need to. But if you save it all for 1 or 2 nights, for most of you, just 1 night, the ideas won't have time to percolate and come up to the surface, and you'll be left with something sad that could have been a whole lot better. And no one likes that defeated feeling of turning in work that you know is less than your best. Use this pre-scheduling technique with all of your long-term projects. Identify the main markers for accomplishments or tasks, and then see how you can spread them out evenly over the given time period between your start and your due date. Then, recruit teachers, friends, or family to review and give feedback on your work. You'll be amazed when you just follow the schedule and complete a long-term project before the assigned due date. Use this strategy for book reports, English papers, history papers, science projects, anything.